Student success planning is a template that each of our schools use as a means to drive student achievement and well-being forward. Each school has an expectation to have a literacy, a numeracy, and a well-being goal within their plan. When within those goals, they have succinct strategies that they follow, that they incorporate into their classrooms, and data is measured and analyzed to kind of form next steps. So schools come up with their goals based on analyzing their data. Their data would inform their goals and their strategies. A lot of times that's done as a part of their school-based team, also through some regional support that we're actually going to be doing next week. The province does create templates that schools can go from, but ultimately the decisions are made on a school level. Data can be anything from provincial assessment data. It can be student success planning surveys, which really takes a deep dive into the social emotional well-being of our students. We recently did a survey for students across grades 4 to 12. Another piece would be actual student evidence gathered from classroom level. So it could be records of reading progress, could be conferencing notes, formative assessment pieces. So a lot of evidence and data is driving those decisions. So each of our schools, we are fortunate in this region to have embedded collaborative learning time. So 14 times a year, our teachers have 90 minutes to work together collaboratively. Again, every school would do this a little bit differently in terms of creating teams, but the basis of it is teachers are working in teams. We are going to have a clear expectation this year that those teams work within a collaborative inquiry cycle where teachers would be expected to bring their evidence or data within those CLTs, analyze that evidence, look at it, have that drive their next steps. We'd be looking for those teams of teachers to have some professional dialogue around student achievement and well-being, and from there take those next steps into the classroom and have their next session bring back those pieces, what worked, what didn't, and use that kind of formative data to drive their next steps. And the other exciting piece this year is we are having data walls at each of our Tri-County schools. That collaborative inquiry cycle will involve repeating that process and reporting back to the data wall. So our P to 6 schools will be looking primarily at reading levels, and our middle and secondary schools are exploring some pretty great ideas as well. But the data walls will be a big driver within those collaborative learning teams, and all of it is tied to student achievement and well-being, which is the basis of the student success planning. Our student success planning does have a very positive impact on what's taking place in our classrooms. For example, at the elementary level, when our goal focuses on improving instructional reading, we're looking at things like small group instruction, we're looking at things like the workshop model, we're looking for teachers to implement those high-end strategies in the classroom that promote higher student achievement. And on the other side of the coin, you can have the same happening in mathematics. But a lot of changes this year are going to focus on the student achievement and well-being piece, where our schools are looking at ensuring that our students are feeling safe, nurtured, and supported. All of it is kind of under the umbrella of the culturally responsive pedagogy piece, where we're looking for our schools to be culturally relevant and looking at those pieces as well. And a lot of that will come out of information from the provincial survey that's coming out in the next couple weeks.